Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. The Israelites have been scattered across the four corners of the earth, as prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Here in Israel United in Christ, we need your help to recover the remnant of our people, teach them the gospel. Please help us, support us, and join or donate to the Booster Club today. Shalom.
Do you understand why we out here? It's to wake up. Now I want you to take a look at this sign right here, right? There's 12 tribes. When the Bible was given to us in slavery, did you ever learn, did they ever teach us about the 12 tribes of Israel? They didn't teach the importance. So that's why we out here, to show you who you are in the Bible. Give me Jeremiah 17 and 4. And as we read this is a testimony of us as a nation. This is what happened to us. Watch this.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
God gave us a heritage.
Right.
You know what goes into a heritage? Your language, what you eat, what you wear,
That's right.
your identity. Read that again.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
Give me Sirach 17:11.
Bring it out.
I'm going to show you, I'm going to expound on the heritage, because what you see out here is not our heritage.
Right.
Cooking swine on the Sabbath,
Bring it
you
out.
should be kicking swine, period.
Right.
Because the dietary law tells you that's unclean.
That's right.
But guess what? We discontinue from our heritage. This is evident today. Watch this.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 17 and verse 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge.
Knowledge to know right from wrong, good from evil, that a man's rod should not go into another man's behind.
Right.
Read.
And the law of life for inheritance.
For inheritance. We're going over who we are according to the Bible. What you see on our garments is a part of our heritage. It's God's laws. But guess what? It was taken from us via slavery.
Right.
Because guess what? We don't want to keep God's laws and commandments. Go back to Jeremiah 17. Watch
Bring
this.
it out.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
What's your name, brother? Mario. Even thyself shall discontinue from your heritage. You understand? What's your last name now? Pain. The name of the slave master. You understand that? Your last name too, brother. Our surname is Israel.
That's right.
Our forefather is Israel. His name was changed to Israel. It's Jacob. It was changed to Israel. Okay? Read on.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
To do what?
Serve thine enemies.
Take a look. Did this not happen to us? Read it again.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
God said, I will cause thee to serve thy enemy. He didn't say they came on their own accord.
Right.
Because this is a part of white supremacy. They'll embed this in your mind that they're superior and we were never able to overcome them.
Right.
Well, we're the best at everything.
Right.
But we don't own anything. But you know what they do? They have to oppress us and keep knowledge from us to keep us destroyed.
That's right.
So that's why we're out here, to shed light on that and to bring you back to your nationality, that you must keep the commandments so we can get out of this hellhole.
Right.
We're at the bottom of society. It doesn't matter if we have LeBron James, all these other star athletes, a black president, right? We're still in the same condition as a nation.
That's right.
You understand that? Give me Deuteronomy 28:15. I'm gonna show you why. All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So who is God? Who is Moses talking to? Who is he talking to right here? Is he before the whole entire world? Get Deuteronomy 1:1.
Bring it out.
I'm gonna show you the audience. Those same people, those same 12 tribes,
Right.
is the audience here.
Right.
But we've been taught, you know what? He's for everybody. A sister came and told us that. The first thing she said, Christ don't have a color. He's for everybody. That's a lie. We cut that to shreds with the scriptures.
That's right.
He has hair like wool and feet the color of brass, as if burned in a furnace.
That's right.
color. Okay? That was hidden from you. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1.
I ain't forget the thought. Who's the audience that Moses gave the commandments to? Read.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Who?
Israel.
All Israel. Go back. Now, we read Deuteronomy 28:15. It says, if you don't keep the commandments that he's given us this day, right? All of them, because people like to cherry pick. They'll be strongly against homosexuality, but you know, I gotta have me a bacon sandwich. But that Baconator, I gotta have that. You understand? So going back to our heritage, let's deal with that. How we eat. Give me Leviticus 11. How do we eat?
Bring it out.
The things you put in your body, you're going to destroy your temple if you don't have the understanding, the knowledge that God gave us.
Right.
You understand? Watch this.
Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
And the swine.
And what?
And the swine.
Pork chop. We smell it. Go ahead.
Though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud.
Because the four-footed beast must be cloven-footed and divide the hoof. Although the pig does that, right? It doesn't do this.
He is unclean to you.
He cheweth not the cud, so he's unclean to you.
Right.
Meaning his digestive system is not the same as other animals that God created. Because what cattle would do is graze, they eat grass, they got two stomachs. A pig gonna eat anything laying down. If you doo-doo, he's gonna eat that.
Right.
It's gonna go right to his bloodstream immediately, within 4 hours. Okay? So God says it's unclean. I can tell when people eat pork. I look in their face, I can see the skin, the discoloration, all those things start showing up. This is spiritual. Give me Romans 7:14.
Bring it out.
I'm gonna show you something. When you start keeping God's laws, he gives you the spirit of discernment.
Right.
Because now you're exercising in wisdom. I'm gonna show you something. Watch this.
Romans chapter 7 and verse 14.
Bring it out.
For we know that the law is spiritual.
God's laws, our heritage is spiritual. Because you'll have people say, well, I'm spiritual. I don't practice religion or XYZ. Well, what's spiritual? A demon is spiritual.
Right.
He good at what he do, right?
Right.
But God's laws are spiritual. It's going to show you who is working with him and who's working against him.
Right.
By you keeping his commandments.
Right.
Read.
For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold unto sin.
Naturally, guess what? When we came out of slavery, we learned all different type of carnal things.
That's right.
Okay, we learned Thanksgiving.
Right.
We learned Valentine's Day is a day of fornication. You give her the gifts and the chocolate, then you get the panties.
Right.
It's a ritual that we do every year,
Right.
and we learn from the oppressor. You understand, sis? We're going over who we are as a nation. We're the Israelites.
Right.
We're God's chosen people. But sis, a part of that, our heritage was taken from us. I want you to look right here, this bottom right corner, sis. Come over here and right here. You'll see you have an overseer on a horse, and you have the next picture over, you have sisters picking cotton. And what are they wearing? What are they wearing? They're wearing dresses.
That's right.
Now, are you married? Okay, you're not married. All right. So it's important for our women, the Israelite woman, she's above all the other women on the earth. You understand? She's right there underneath the men. It's important for her to be distinguished wearing God's holy apparel, which is a dress for a woman. Watch this. Remember we said the law is spiritual. So I'm gonna show you something.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
It says the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. That which belongs to a man. Okay, so let's deal with that, right? If you have a daughter and you always put boy clothing on her, she's always, wearing boy clothes, eventually what spirit comes on her? Anybody? Huh? You put jerseys on her, you let her sag, pants, huh? Boyish mentality. She'll be manly, right?
Right.
It's spiritual.
Right.
Watch this, read.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Case in point, Dwayne Wade's son, right? If he wears a woman's garment, what spirit does that put on him? A womanly spirit. Now he thinks, you know what? Since I can remember, I should have been a woman. That idea was embedded. It was planted in his head via oppression. Because our people are groping for different things. Homosexuality is a trend now. You know what I'm saying? Being a Pan-Africanist was a trend. They're just going what the world says, not what God is saying here.
Right.
So read it again from the top.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So you think about a woman, right, and her characteristics. When women wear pants, because women are not supposed to wear pants, that's what the scripture's talking about. You start becoming manly. So now your posture, you can't stand the same way that you would in a dress when you're wearing pants.
Right.
You understand? When you bend over, people are looking at things. And that idea you put in people's mind, that's the only thing they're gonna want from you. It's why a lot of our sisters are not married, but they have a lot of children. I'm not saying that's the case with you, but our communities are primarily ran by the woman. Look where the men are in the community. They're not out here today. Usually we have a lot of older men drunk, just standing there. They're not leading the communities. I'm gonna show you something. Hold that real quick. We're coming back there. Give me Jeremiah 14 and verse 2. Jeremiah, I'm gonna show you about something about leadership. We're going back there because I don't want to come away from the point, but when you start seeing black men, primarily black, Hispanic, Native American men come out professing who we are, it's time to wake up. You've never seen this before. You've never seen us come out here with camp signs, giving you the knowledge and who you are, telling you what's right and wrong. Your pastor should be out here doing this for free. But he's comfortable sitting behind the pulpit. Watch this.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
They are what?
They are black unto the ground.
Read that again from the top.
Judah mourneth.
Judah. If you look over here, the top tribe, Judah, that's the so-called American blacks. It says we're in mourning. Read.
And the gates thereof languish.
The gates represent leadership, because the wise men in Jerusalem would sit among the gates. You understand? That's where the wisdom is. But guess what? We don't have any wisdom out here. All we can tell you, hey, how to flip O's, how to smoke, you know, how to do Negro stuff that we picked up in America. Go ahead.
They are black unto the ground.
And these people are black. Their condition is black, their skin is black.
That's right.
You understand? Go back to Deuteronomy 22:5. Okay? So remember, the law is spiritual. If you put on pants, sis, you're gonna have a manly spirit. And that's that argumentative spirit. You understand? Because guess what? Who runs the household? Who's supposed to run the household? The woman? Give me that in 1 Corinthians. The man.
That's
Okay,
right.
I thought you said the woman first. Right, the man, right? But guess what? A lot of people think it's supposed to be 50-50. That's the confusion that we learn in America. Watch this.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So the head of every man is Christ. Head.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. Read.
And the head of Christ is God.
So the head of Christ is God. God, Christ, man, woman. So that's the hierarchy. Okay? Now, I'm going to deal with something at the same time, right? So you understand, we're about order. God is about order and respect. Do you love God? You sure? I'm going to put you to the test real quick. Watch this.
Verse 4. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
What does that mean? It says, any man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. Is your head covered? So watch this. Read it again.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 4. Every man praying or prophesying.
So right now, you're in the midst of prophecy. We've revealed the color of Christ. We're going over who we are as a people. We're prophesying to you. So you're in the company of God. You understand? He's speaking to you through the words. So if you're amongst God, right, you want to be in the most humble state, right? Read it again from the top.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoring his head.
You're dishonoring Christ right now with your head covered. So you love Christ, take your hat off like you would when you go to church, right? If you ever go to church, you go to courtroom, you take your hat off, don't you?
That's right.
So show us that you love Christ. It's a small thing, right? I know you got something on the back of your head too. We ain't out here looking at you, bro. We don't care about your looks, man. A brother had a do-rag on, and he like, man, I ain't get my head twisted. We ain't worried about that. We worry about obedience, brother. All praise the Most High. That's repentance.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. I.U.I.C has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. I.U.I.C, we deliver the truth.